Today on R&R on Sports, Larry and Howard talk about Zion Williamson and John Morant's controversies and rank Nikola Jokic's place among the greats. Then we are joined by author Trey Draper. All of this and more on this week's episode of R&R on Sports. Now, here are your hosts, Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson.
Hello and welcome to R&R on Sports. I'm Howard Robertson.
And I am the great one, Larry Robinson.
And we appreciate you being with us here on R&R always. What's up, man?
Man, it's all good, brother.
It's
all good. It's in the dog days of sports in the summer. You only got
that
baseball.
dead time.
Yeah,
that
you got the
time.
baseball.
Well,
and that's it.
I'm telling you what's going to happen. Do you watch 3-on-3?
Not really. I'm a supporter.
It's kind of good.
I'm supporting.
Saturday afternoon.
I support.
Ain't nothing else on but golf.
I support Ice Cube. I support him what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I'm still missing the NBA. When that last horn sounded, I was really sad.
Saw him in New York.
Sad.
We were in the green room together.
3-on-3?
He was making a presentation to a bunch of ad agency folks, and I was too. And so we were in the green room together, and he had just come off, and we talked a bit, and he was excited about coming to Memphis for the first time.
Oh,
he will
wow.
be at the FedEx Forum in July. And this is the 6th season, man.
Yeah, they doing some good work, man.
He
doing some good.
Absolutely.
And then I think what he's being able to take these players, at the end of their career or after their career, and allowing them to still be out, still be relevant, still be engaged with the community and the fans. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a seriously great thing.
I think he's a great businessman.
Oh man, no doubt.
I love
no
the
doubt. I mean, you can go all the way back to NWA when he pulled the plug. And
he was doing it back then?
Oh no, that was the whole thing. He pulled the plug on that thing. Man, you ain't watched the movie? Nah, but it literally,
I did watch the movie.
he was concerned with the paperwork,
right?
And
right.
He was the one that that pretty much brought everything down to say, man, we getting screwed.
Well,
and kind of
congratulations to him.
Right, Ice Cube
and successful
O'Shea
season.
Jackson.
That's right.
O'Shea
Jackson.
Jackson.
That's right. Also, congratulations to the Denver Nuggets on your world championship, your first world championship.
Only problem I got with the Nuggets is all this rap after the game about they somebody's daddy and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, come on now. Y'all got – and I mean the coach done come up with his hat, cocked ace deuce, and with the glasses on. And I'm just like, Mike, don't get new on them, baby. Don't get new on them. Y'all talking about
they
y'all
went Memphis Grizzlies on them. Ain't been nowhere.
Memphis ain't
Grizzlies talk smack and they ain't
Grizzlies
won
ain't
nothing.
been to West Memphis yet. They ain't been to West Memphis talking about they gonna run up the chimney.
But hey, I'm happy for the Nuggets. I was pulling for them.
What you think about Jokic, man? Is he literally? Let me ask you this: is he one of the greatest centers ever?
Short answer, yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
He is one of the greatest. Now, I mean, where I fall off the truck, the wagon, is when you start talking about the greatest and the GOAT and all of that. I think it's too premature to talk about that. Is he one of the absolutely? You have how many other centers have we seen?
If we go back into the archives,
that can do
if we go back in the
all
archives,
that he does.
If we go back in the archives 3 years ago, I told everybody that this dude is going to change the game. He's doing things that you just can't. I mean, he's leading a break, man. At 7'1", lumbering big, and I mean, he's not moving. He's like a big Magic Johnson. I mean, he's amazing.
I think he's fundamentally sound in every position.
And then he has a jump shot like Larry Bird. I mean, he's got the ball behind his head falling away.
He is fundamentally sound in every position. He just happens to be 7'1".
You know what I want to see, though? You know what I want to see?
What?
Next year. Because they've been talking all this smack in the offseason. Now let's see what it's like when the target's on your back.
Okay.
Because that's the one thing they've not experienced. And the one thing you will not experience until
you
win
could
a
not
champion.
experience
Right, until you win a championship.
got to be, yeah.
And so
Yeah,
now let's see how he responds now that he's got the target on
Absolutely.
his back.
We got
And
a lot
we saw the fugazi of Anthony Davis after he the fugazi of Anthony Davis. Then that after he won a championship.
Word. What a vocabulary word, fugazi.
He won a championship, came back and laid 2-3 eggs, and he still hasn't recovered from them winning the championship in the bubble.
We'll talk about that more. We got much, 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 much more for you here on R&R on Sports, and we'll be back after this. R&R on Sports is proudly brought to you by AARP. Visit aarp.org/Black Community for more information.
I got mine.
R&R on Sports.
Riffin' on jazz.
But she was a sheriff's deputy
Where?
in Detroit.
In Detroit. Oh, my God. You can't be no punk for that.
And ended up playing a flute.
Riffin' on jazz on the Kazookian Network.
Thanks for calling the 3 Wishes hotline, where your wish is our command. Get 3 wishes for only $3,000. This is Jeannie speaking, and what are your wishes today?
Yo, what up? I need to get 3 wishes granted.
That's what I'm here for, man. Get 3 in the can for only $3,000.
I wish the Denver Broncos practice squad hadn't got paid before Super Bowl week. Because then, I wouldn't have that little situation I had and stuff. I wish that girl hadn't have been so damn fine. She had that Serena body. It was like, pow, pow. I wish I still got my Super Bowl ring, so I can show my boys and stuff back at the crib.
Oh, you no get no sue from Peyton. All right, I scratch out payday like it never happened. That girl is now skinny, ugly, with bad skin and breath, and you'll get a Super Bowl ring. Now, it might be from Super Bowl 5 instead of 50, but it beats nothing. That'll be 3Gs. Now, what's the name on your credit card?
I ain't got no credit card yet. But the name on my EBT card is Ryan, R. Murphy.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Thanks for calling the 3 Wishes hotline, where your wishes are command. Get 3 wishes for only $3,000. This is Ginny speaking, and what are your wishes today?
Shalom. I want my 3 wishes granted immediately.
Well, all right, mister. Have no fears. Your wishes are granted when your payment clears.
They better be. Number 1, I want the Cleveland Cavaliers. I wish they'd lose every game from now on.
To the end of the season?
Hell no. Forever. Number 2, I wish that little scraggly hair on LeBron's head to fall out all over the floor. Even the implants. I want him to go through his life ball as a cue ball so everybody can see that lopsided head he's been trying to hide. And number 3, I wish all the players and everybody in the Cavs front office would immediately experience severe male member shrinkage.
Oh, my severe?
Damn right.
Oh, we talking small?
Tiny.
Like Pee-wee jockstrap?
Nah, like a Band-Aid.
All right, the Cavs is going 0 and forever. LeBron hair is out. Shrinkage is underway. That'll be 3Gs. Now, what's the name on your credit card?
It's D. Blatt.
Okay, Mr. B. Fat.
I said D. Blatt. D-B-L-A-T-T. You dumb.
Oh, all right, Mr. Blatt. I'm so sorry. Your payment has been processed. Wishes have been granted. And now I need you to do me one more thing.
What is it?
Unzip your pants and have a squint. But let me tell you this little hint. The next time you try to please her, you're going to need a magnifying glass and some tweezers.
Oh, God, where did it go?
Who's the bitch now, Blatt?
Community is more than where you live. It's the people in it who go above and beyond to help it thrive.
During the 50th anniversary of hip-hop and the 75th anniversary of Black radio, and year-round, AARP recognizes people, members, volunteers, and partners giving back to our communities. We believe when our efforts drive change for the greater good, we all thrive together. To learn more about how AARP supports efforts to keep our communities thriving, visit aarp.org/ Black community.
That's aarp.org/Black community.
R&R on Sports.
All right.
We back.
We's back.
Man, that's like, we were talking about the NBA.
Yeah.
And something that's really, kind of has surprised me lately is, you got this whole thing with Ja and the second incident with the gun. But then, on his same AAU team, almost out of the same community, you got this situation with Zion Williamson. And he's got a situation where he's got his girl who's pregnant and having his first child. And then out of nowhere, his jump off decides to show her head and let everybody know about the amazing relationship.
She's not even, as I understand it, even qualified as a side piece.
Well,
she's just a paid piece.
She's a paid assistant.
She's a pro.
Yeah.
She's a pro.
Yeah.
He's a pro.
She's
a pro.
She's a pro. But I mean, it looks like Zion enjoys this because he's got multiple women that have come to the forefront and said, "Ooh, Zion is nasty. He nasty, y'all. He nasty."
I understand some of them even saying he ain't working with much either.
Ooh, they done dropped it on him like that.
See, that's what you run the risk of.
Wait a minute, hold on. You got guns and Ja, buns and Zion, and just damn right dumb.
Now, wait a minute. Let's go back to Ja for a minute. So what is your position on the quote unquote fairness of the ruling from Adam Silver and the NBA?
I think the Adam Silver actually was quite lenient. I really do believe that he actually deserved more because, I mean, literally he went right into the commissioner, said he was going to not do anything like this again, and walked out and did it again almost immediately.
Weeks later.
Yeah. So I kind of thought he deserved more. But with that being said, you still got to give him grace because he's a young boy. But he doesn't understand. He hasn't understood his power. But if you think about this for a second, Ja Morant might be the most popular NBA player in that generation, in his generation. I mean, literally, in that generation of players, he's got to be number one or number two, and probably as far as excitement, he's probably number one in that generation of players that's been in the league probably. I wouldn't argue with
that. I wouldn't argue with that.
And I think that's what it is. And I would say American player, because you have individuals like Luka, you got Jokic, you got some players that are, really dominating but it's international players.
And I think that's because that's a function of his explosiveness and how exciting a player he is.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't have guards jumping over people.
Right.
And literally skying over people, challenging 7-footers at the rim.
Hey man, he's posterizing.
And winning.
Yeah, he's
posterizing,
folks.
But here's where I come apart. I think that anybody, and it's good to hear you say that. I think it was. I don't think the conversation is whether or not it was fair. I don't think fair's got any dadgum thing to do with it, and I'll tell you why. Adam Silver and the NBA don't have to be fair. Anytime somebody does what Ja did, they just hand over and give up whatever power they have.
Yeah.
Whatever power they have, they just put it.
I mean, he gave $50 million back, man.
Hey, man.
He gave $50 million back.
You just handed them your power. If money is power, you handed them that. If self-determination is power, you handed them that because you gave that up.
Right.
we have got to teach our youth. We as black folk, particularly black men, have got to teach young black men that you do not sacrifice your power. Don't give it up. Don't give it up. Just on some foolishness, on some
once
bull.
again, I think as the old saying goes, youth is wasted on the young. And I understand that most people feel like, wow, but his bank account size does not equate his level of intelligence, his emotional intelligence, any of that.
Well, that's true.
It does not. But it's not the
somebody
determinant.
needs to tell him what the old heads told us, and that is that the world ain't gonna give you nothing. They don't owe you nothing.
Well, the old head told us that, but we still bumped our heads a million times.
I am not saying it. Yeah,
and all I'm saying is
how
that,
many times is he gonna bump his head?
We bumped our heads a lot. I know I bumped my head plenty of times.
He can't bump his head a lot.
Oh, well, listen. Like the old saying goes, when the last time you lost $50 million, what did you do?
Right.
I ain't never had it.
Right.
I ain't never had it,
Right.
so I can't tell you.
That.
The
I
same
can't tell
thing
you
with
how
him.
that feel.
He doesn't know how losing $50 million feel because he ain't never had it.
Now he does.
Well, no, he doesn't
Well,
because he still even the $50 million wasn't gonna change his lifestyle.
Okay.
Because he still signed $160 million.
And as
he still got his $160 million contract.
I have said before, whose money he is messing with is that precious little baby he picks up at the end of every game and interviews holding. This is generational money. This is generational wealth.
He's messing with that girl's grandkids' money.
Okay.
He's messing with that baby's great-grandkids' money. Because that little baby going to be fine. She going to be fine. I just look at it from a standpoint of he's a young man. He's done amazing things. I want him to get some corrective behavior, get the right people around him so that ultimately he can be the leader that he needs to be. Now,
and let me tell you something else I got my fist balled up about.
But wait a minute, hold on, one more thing. In that, Ja might not be the right person. Y'all got to realize that too. In that, this dude might just be that. It's like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman could have been the most amazing player in the world, but at the end of the day, he's not the guy that you want representing your brand. And Ja might just not be the guy
have said this before,
that you want representing your brand.
The Memphis Grizzlies have functioned at a very high level without him. Now, whether or not they continue to function at as high a level without him, I don't know, because there's an X factor in it, and we hadn't talked about that. The addition to, what do you think about the addition to Marcus Smart?
Oh, I think it's I think it's a great addition, and I think it's signaling signaling to Ja that they ain't playing with him. Zach, Jason Wexler, those guys, they ain't playing with him no more. They brought in a veteran quality point guard that was defensive player of the year. Now, you had a great run because you had Bane, who really stepped up in Ja's absence year before last. Mm-hmm. Last year he was hurt, a big part of it. But you got a ball player in Bane that now that he knows that he's going to be the focal point of the offense come the beginning of the season, we might see Desmond Bane in the All-Star game. Don't be surprised, because I can see him coming. I can see him averaging 20 to 25 points a game easily. Yeah. Easily. Yeah. So, Ja, get yourself together, man.
All right.
Because they've got a plan in place for sure.
All right. We've got a great interview for you. This is a young guy that you probably are not familiar with, but, man, he's done a lot in a very short amount of time because he's very, very young. His name is Trey Draper, and we will be back with some conversation with author Trey Draper right after this.
Blues in the basement.
You have blues about your girl is gone. My baby done left me, gone and left me all alone.
Denise LaSalle.
Everybody know that my first big gold record was recorded right at High Studio.
Blues in the Basement on the Kazukian Network.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. That was a little weak, man.
Man, I'm out of practice.
That's a little airy.
I'm a little out of practice, man.
That was worse. That was worse. We are so glad that you are with us, and we are happy to bring to you a former baller.
Former baller.
Former baller.
Are you ever a former baller?
Yeah, well, in your mind, you were not. In reality, yeah, you can be.
My knees say I'm former baller.
Yeah. But turned author. We are talking about the University of Memphis's pride. And when I say that, I mean that seriously. Because
wait a minute, he had to stop before he became an author, bro. He's a trainer.
Everybody loved him. Everybody loved this cat. We're talking about, like I said, baller turned author. His name is Trey Draper. Trey Draper, welcome to R&R on Sports.
Man, it's an honor. Thanks for having me on R&R.
Absolutely.
Now you said you've been knowing him his whole life, so go ahead and ask him a couple questions.
No. I'm going to tell you this about it. I'm going to tell you this about Trey. Trey Draper is generally and genetically great.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? Some guys are generally great guys. Some guys are genetically potentially great, but not so much.
Right.
That's a great description right there.
That comes from the salt of the earth. I know his whole family. Miss Maxie Draper was your what?
That's my great-great-grandmother.
Whoa, Trey. Oh,
that's the great-grandma. No, one great.
One great.
But I'm giving you.
My heart's not beating fast.
I'm giving you great. No. I'm giving you great because I'm telling you what type of lady she was.
Oh, man.
So she was my great.
Oh, you're good. Oh,
you gotta follow me.
Grace was an adjective.
I don't think you woke yet.
One of them was an adjective and one of them was a noun. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. That's my
great. Beautiful woman. I knew her from the time I was a little kid. His great grandmother sang in the choir at our family church.
Oh,
and my mother was the organist and played for many, many years.
Wow. Wow. Talk about history.
I know all of Charlotte was in love with me for many years. I knew. And speaking of basketball, Barris was the coldest point guard. When I was a kid, I was in like the 5th or 6th grade. He was in the 8th grade. And I used to come over to Lincoln Junior High and watch him. He was cold.
Okay. My dad went there, man. So you going deep in the roots.
Harold, Lafayette,
Uncle.
Leonard, Bonnie.
Okay, so wait a minute. Now this done turned into a family reunion. This done turned a family reunion for the folks all over America. This is a Memphis kid. He's a Memphis Memphis born, Memphis bred, and when he die, he'll be Memphis in the ground.
Talk about a little bit about your backstory, man, in terms of growing up in Memphis and going to play ball and playing ball at Mitchell and going to University of Memphis.
Yeah, man, it's I can go on and on, but just a brief synopsis of it. Just born at Mitchell High School. High School, I go very, very in depth about my journey at Mitchell High School in the book, but from there is it goes to University of Memphis. For me, the coach at University of Memphis at the time could have been Joe Blow at Kroger, and that's would have been, and I would have went to the University of Memphis. It was one of those decisions that it was like I already knew. It wasn't even. I had scholarship. I was from Liberty, Mississippi Valley State, Jackson, and it just didn't make sense. I was like, it wouldn't make sense for me because, like you said, I'm Memphis. Like Larry said, it's to the core, and from there, I knew I wanted to coach. I think I developed that about my sophomore year. Coach
You
Damon
knew
started.
you wanted to coach your sophomore year.
Yeah, I found out. So, Coach, funny story. Coach Damon.
Hold on, before you get there, Trey. Hold on, and listen. He mentioned the book, so let's first let everybody know what the book is. Trey has written a book, and he's on a promotional tour for this book, which is going to be a New York bestseller. I'm putting it out there, and it's called The Winning Language: Power of Relationships. So Trey, so let's make sure we set that and that
Yeah, for
guys.
Sure. Loyalty and integrity as well. So it's the winning language, the power of relationships. Because when you have relationships, you got to have loyalty and integrity. So it's the power.
Break the title down. Break the title down. What does that mean to you?
Man, so winning language, bro, is it's different languages, 5 love languages, right?
Right.
It's a lot of people. And I have a quote in the book that says it's a lot of people, to the majority of the people, there are 5 love languages, right? Okay. You got acts of service, you got gift giving, you got quality time, you have words of affirmation,
right?
And you have acts of service,
right?
And I said my love language is helping you win, because that's a love language for me. Because on this earth, there's not a lot of people that put themselves last, but me, I find joy in seeing others win. I really find joy in that. And in turn, when you win, I win, right? When you lose, I lose, but we don't do too much losing.
Right.
We have bumps in the road, but, we win. And as a coach, that kind of, along my journey, I watched my dad and my granddad put others first, And guess what happened? And in turn, they won, right? You just went through my family. My Uncle Harold was a principal.
That's right.
My grandmother was a servant leader. Right. My mom does anything for anybody. And so it's a natural, it's genetically instilled in me to see others win. Mm-hmm. And I'm just fortunate enough to have a job that allows me to reap benefits off of others' wins. Right. Coaching is a direct correlation of winning. And, I've been fortunate enough to win 8 championships. I just turned 31 yesterday. So
wow, happy birthday!
I won a championship at Mitchell High School, and you go win national championship at IMG as a coach. You win 3 back-to-back championships undefeated at the University of Memphis, right? So, what was along every journey? It was loyalty, it was relationships, it was integrity, and every time that we've won, those 3 things have been at the forefront of our success.
Wow. Listen, this is R&R on Sports, and we're speaking with Trey Draper, Coach Trey Draper, who has now written a book called The Winning Language: Power of Relationships, Loyalty, and Integrity. What does integrity mean to you, Trey?
Oh, man, it's huge, because you guys know, just like I know, in this world that we're living in, there's a lot of fraudulent behavior. And because of social media, it's not cool to be a good person. It's not cool to be yourself. It's not cool to do the right thing when nobody's watching, right? But I'm here to tell you that it's cool. It's a winning language. There's winning language in being integrity. There's winning language is I have to do 150 push-ups with my clients. Every last one of them, I tell them right now, we're doing 150 push-ups tonight, right? And every time we're done, even from the youngest to the oldest, I send a 150 check mark. It's done. I could easily say, yeah, I did 150. But guess what? In my mind, I didn't do it. But I'm only lying to myself, right? So integrity is what you're doing when others are watching. And then integrity is also doing what staying true to what you said when nobody's watching you, right? And what's integrity in recruiting, right? I'm not breaking any rules. You're either going to come here or you're not. And that's kind of what it is.
Well, how does a lack of integrity show up on the court?
Oh, bro, jealousy, hatred.
Ooh.
You telling yourself, I want to win, but you got a guy wide open and you shooting the ball and he just, he's like, come on, man. That's integrity. Or in your mind that coach is calling this play. We just scored off it 3 times in a row, but your parents are telling you, you got to score. We need you to score, right? But, we running this set. Right. It's a battle. It's a battle within. And a lot of people don't have it. But I'm here to tell you in this book that it's a quality that every one of us possess. But how do we bring it out? Every one of us have the opportunity to have integrity. Every one of us have the opportunity to be loyal. Every one of us have the opportunity to build relationships. It's up to us if we choose to do it or not. And I'm getting in what the book is strategized. It gives you say, hey, you're going to get tested. If you're a college coach, you're going to, with the NIL situation, you're going to go through a situation where somebody's going to outbid you. You're going to have opportunity when somebody's going to not offer you, what you want. And are you going to stay true to your core values? Or you going, you know what? I give you a little extra on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real integrity. And that's like, nobody knows that but you and the man upstairs. So how you going to handle that? And that's kind of where I'm at with it, with integrity. That's just with me. I tell people, I'm kind of long-winded with this answer because it means so much, because it's not a lot of things that make me waver. Peer pressure, I don't fold to it. If I say I'm not doing something, I've never taken a drink, I've never smoked anything. My friends will tell you, like, never. And I'm staying true to that. That's integrity to myself. Hey, yes, you have. Yes, you didn't took a shot before. Okay. I'm not gonna argue with you, sweetheart. Like, I'm not here to go back and forth. So, integrity is huge. It's huge, man, in any type of success.
We're talking to Arthur Trey Draper here on R&R on Sports.
His name ain't Arthur. His name is Trey.
You so silly. You silly boy. You messed up my groove, man.
Go ahead.
Here on R&R on Sports, and we'll be back after this.
Kadzukian. The company is based in Memphis, but it is international.
A new building, an expanded team, new equipment, a new studio, all inside of 7 years.
The resources that we were able to utilize with Kadzukian and their team has been incredible. And our partners at Kadzukian has been a large part of our success.
One, it's Black owned. So we get to tell our own stories in our own way.
With social media and the technology we have today, the world is listening.
Kadzukian. Check out all your Kadzukian favorites now. Download the Kadzukian app, available on Android and iOS.
Kadzukian! Welcome back to R&R on Sports. Trey Draper. So, here's my question. Man, first of all, let me tell you, you really were listening to what they said to you when you were growing up, because I know where you got all this.
Well, that ain't
I know where you got
that ain't a
all.
question, though.
Well,
that was the statement.
No, that's there.
Because a hard head make a soft what?
They told you that too, and showed you probably. But look, given the fact that the sad reality, that very, very few young guys, young athletes got the kind of foundation and principles and it had the kind of examples that you did in your life and in your family. How important and vital is it that you project and share those things that you learned with these young cats that are out here today?
Huge. I'm not going to talk too much about it, the story in the book, but I'm going to give you a brief. Andre Turner, who's a legendary basketball player in Memphis.
Right.
He gave me the opportunity to coach high school at my alma mater, where I was teaching my first year with children who were seniors. Where they were freshmen when I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
Think about that. Like, I was 21, bro. I turned 22 June 6th is when he hired me. So I was turning 22 on June 26th.
And you knew these kids from when you were at Mitchell.
When I was at school. It's crazy. Wow. When you look back at it, you say, like, wow. So I came in with the mindset of you're on this pedestal now, because everybody was telling Mr. Meeks, the principal at the time, that also, hired me, and Dre, he too young, or he's not gonna be mature enough. But Dre gave me opportunity, and from there, it's my due diligence to pass forward those lessons and give others opportunities of what Andre Turner gave me. And when you go through, my journey, I look at it now. I'm 31. I say, well, he did what? He hired me at 21. At first I didn't really understand the magnitude of because I'm just teaching them, coaching them, you know. Then we won a state championship. Then we won a freshman championship. I'm like, hold on. So we caught up in all of this. And so I say, you know what? It wouldn't be fair if I just keep it all to me.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell people, like, this is real life. Like, you can do it. You can do it from Walker Homes.
Right.
Everybody that ain't from Memphis, that's national in this, Walker Home is the inner city of Memphis. Memphis was just voted the poorest city in the country. And all we have is us. We don't really have a ton of resources.
Right.
But we're enough. So you put a Trey Draper, you put a Andre Turner, you put a Kelvin Meeks, all that graduated from Mitchell High School, it makes it more, like, it means more because I was once you. I sat in them seats.
How different are these young athletes and young players? I had a friend who formerly was a coach at Mitchell, as a matter of fact. He told me a long time, his brother and I were roommates in college. He told
Don't tell me Jerry Johnson.
Okay. Michael Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach Brown. He told me a long time ago, Larry, that he said these kids are different. He said, I could challenge y'all. I could get in your face and tell you what you couldn't do, and you would kill yourself trying to prove me to be a liar, trying to make me wrong. He say these kids, he say you get on these kids now and they absorb, they are super sensitive, and you cannot, he said, I cannot motivate these kids like I used to be able to motivate previous players and kids of your generation. Talk about how different they are.
Very different, very different. But I'm going to give you a winning language. It's the law. So I also give you principles in the book. You know, I give you laws. It's the law of figuring it out. Because if you want to win, you got to figure it out, because the world is ever evolving. So what are ways that to figure out? I do what Andre did. You hire a younger coach to relate to him.
Right.
Listen to that music that they listen to, but also toe the line of having a loyalty toward the coach, but also having a loyalty toward the player.
Right.
And when I look back at where my role 10 years ago, you know, Dre will tell you some X and O stories, but he'll tell you that I was able to figure out a way to, hey, this how he feeling, Dre. He ain't finna do that, bro. This ain't.
You would have whispered.
It wasn't more so that, but it was more so like, hey, dog, Coach Turner on the way. So you need to chill before you get caught. And then Coach Turner will never find it out. But if it needed to get back to him, it did. So we figured it out. So as I continue to grow, there's ways to motivate them. These kids like social media, right? You know, they like it. You got to figure out a way to put them on social media.
Why are they so fragile?
Because it pays now. Everybody gets the glamour light, dog. Everybody gets the fame. Think about when you was coming up. It was one player. It was one player.
Because of the fame?
Think about it. When you were coming up, even when I was coming up, I'm 30, 31. Nobody on my team got free shoes from companies,
right?
But Joe Jackson. He was the number 5 player in the country. Okay. Tariq Black didn't even get free stuff at the time. He didn't get invited to the Adidas Top 100 account. He had to work his way. Nowadays, if you got a blue check and you have a following, you can get paid by these companies.
Right.
And as a young man that comes from the inner city Memphis, I have a different feeling of both of these subjects because I understand both sides. I might not be that good, but somebody want to pay me for my brand. My mama work at McDonald's. My dad go to work at midnight. So I'm in high school. I just look good. I can dunk. I can play basketball good, but I look good. I can dunk. I get a $15,000 sponsorship. So now as a coach, you have to figure out a way to relate to that kid who's now getting paid for his brand.
And I think that's going to be hard as everything.
It's going to be hard, but it's the new world.
But it's the new world.
But the ones that figure it out, but it's the new world. It ain't going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. And the ones that figure it out are the ones that become successful. You got a kid right now you got kids staying in college because they're making more in college than a two-way contract.
I get it.
Right.
It's a different world. And so for coaches, the older coaches, respectfully, have to be able to figure that out because you got guys like me that know how to play that game now.
But personally, I don't have a problem with the NIL in college.
No doubt.
I have a problem with high school students being able to make what I think that feeds into a much deeper, greater problem.
It does. It does. I'm here to tell you, it definitely does. But if you have a kid that goes to Mitchell High School that still has something, you come from an older generation than I do. You had to work and play ball and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I can just play ball, you're going to pay me to play ball? Because some out there doing it the right way. It's different. It's different, but it's the way that this world is, man. And I can break it. We can do a whole segment on this.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a much is given, much is required type of deal.
But do they understand that though, Trey? You're exactly right. Do they?
The great coaches make them fit. The great coaches give them a winning language to make them understand that.
Oh, great. Trey, before you go any further, who are the coaches in your estimation that's doing it right, that's really speaking to the sensibilities, the perspectives of the young men?
Penny Hardaway. I've witnessed it firsthand and foremost. Penny Hardaway, Jawan Howard,
really?
Damon Stoudemire. On the women's side, Niele Ivey, Katrina Merriweather. These are coaches that I've seen do it the right way. And I've had interaction with a million coaches through my time at IMG when I was coaching.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know, we put 25 pros in the league, and I've met every college coach. And I was in the transition of no money to now NIL money.
Ooh.
And the people that you named are are pros.
They're former pros, and they sit in those seats. They've been there. So you look at a Niele Ivey on the women's side, not just on the men's side, on the women's side, who
got a son now.
Come on, man.
She got a son that went through it, so she's seeing it from all.
I see it, and I also understand that. Let's call it what it is. A lot of these college coaches come to these hoods to recruit. These kids got to figure out, they got to pay bills, man. A lot of these kids, the cost of inflation is going up. So, so the cost of inflation is going up. Mama ain't making but $14 an hour. Daddy barely at home. Right? Some people might not know him, respectfully. So now at 18, I'm a freshman. Now you telling me I can make $42,000 playing what I'm going to do for free?
Right.
So those are coaches that's doing it the right way, man. I got a list of them that really do it now. It may not be now where it gets tricky is who's an agent representing them, because it's not just coach and player. There's a middleman.
Yeah.
And that's where the game gets tricky. But that's a whole nother conversation.
All right, Trey, we coming to the end of the segment. Coming to the review. I want to ask you this. What's next for Trey Draper? We got the book. We know we got the book. But let's project. Give me 2-3 years out. Where might we see Trey?
Man, New York bestseller with this book, man. I'm gonna speak it because it's a story that everybody can relate to, simply because I'm not that average guy, right? When you look at, I'm blessed. It's really a unicorn profession. I'm able to train, coach, write a book, do TV. I've seen the game of basketball from every angle. I've been a fan, I've been a coach, I've been a player. I referee games. I've commentated.
31.
So
31 as of yesterday.
As of yesterday, man. As of yesterday. So, the game has changed my life. The game of basketball has changed my life. So, 2-3 years from now, I really don't know. Because if I tell you right now, Larry, man, I'll tell you, I didn't even plan this. I had no idea. I didn't plan to be coach. I didn't know. I knew I wanted to coach. But if you tell me that I'd be working at IMG, you tell me win a national championship and I write a book all before 30, I would have told you, nah. But here we are. So I'm a very spiritual guy. I'm very prayed up. So whatever the good Lord got in store for me.
That's it. That's it right there, brother.
I want to give you the last few seconds to promote your book. Why should they buy and read The Winning Language?
All right, man. I'm gonna give you, because I'm gonna go through the chapters for you real quick. Chapter 1 is building meaningful relationships. Everybody need relationships. I'm only on this podcast because of the relationships, right? cultivate loyalty. Loyalty is the biggest thing for me. Money don't move me, fame don't move me. I'm loyal to who loyal to me, right or wrong. If it's wrong, we'll figure it out, at the end. Leading with integrity, right? We went through a segment, we talked about integrity, applying the winning language. How do you now apply those 3 things when you're in these rooms? Because you're going to be tested, right? And then when you get to the law of mental toughness, you need mental toughness in everything that you do in life, because you're going to go through things. You go through breakups. You're going to lose a family member. It's just going to happen. How do I have the mental toughness to overcome that, right?
Right.
The law of teamwork, right? Look at you guys. That's the perfect example of teamwork, right? Nobody's trying to outshine one another. Got the producer on the call. You know what I mean? Think about your producer. He wasn't there. He could be saying, no, I want to be the guy talking, right? The law of teamwork. When you go through the law of excelling in your role, being a star in your role. Everybody can't be the best player. Can't be LeBron James. I can't be Jeff Bezos. I can't be Larry. I got to be Trey. I got to be the star in my role, right? The law of going the extra mile. Simple. I'm going to outwork whoever. And the law of reciprocity. I'm going to just pay you for it.
There you go.
So that's you preaching over that. We learned that in
sales.
Might be the gospel of basketball, man.
So when you're thinking, but this is the thing. It's not just basketball. You need those in life, right? And that's the thing. So I needed them in sports, but I also needed them in life. And I just wanted to put it in words for everybody to be able to read it from ages 10 to 2000.
That's beautiful. I told you, a genetically and generally great cat, Trey Draper. Only here on R&R on Sports. We appreciate having you. This is like being in the Cosa Nostra, man. That means when the phone rings and we ask you to show up, that you show up. Yeah, we're going to have you back, man. We look forward to having you back. Everybody go out and get The Winning Language. The Winning Language, his new book.
Power of Relationships, Loyalty, and Integrity.
We'll be back for more R&R on Sports right after this.
Hey, this is Howard Robertson with R&R on Sports.
And I'm the most amazing Larry Robinson.
For the best entertainment you can imagine, download the Kazukian app and get R&R on Sports.
Download it from the Google Play Store or the App Store. Android, Google Play, iOS, App Store. Get it.
Kazukian. R&R on Sports. R&R on Sports. R&R on Sports.
Welcome back. So, as we head toward the door, we want to, I don't know what they are doing in Nashville.
Nashville. That's Vegas.
Nashville, Tennessee. But they are on the map in terms of their HBCUs, and you got historic HBCUs in Nashville, including Tennessee State University, Fisk University, and Meharry Medical College. Fisk has the first HBCU to have a collegiate gymnastics team. But tell them what TSU just did.
TSU got the first HBCU with an ice hockey team, and they're hoping to compete on the male and female ice hockey level.
You mean tell me they got y'all on skates and ice in Nashville?
In Nashville.
In Tennessee.
With sticks.
Whoa.
With sticks now.
Whoa.
With sticks.
And a hard
got
thing
brothers and sisters with sticks.
Man.
Don't mess around.
Yeah, that's progressive there. That is progressive. But
I wonder if they're going to play OVC.
To the Nashville Predators
Absolutely.
Of the NHL,
yes,
who were driving force in this reality.
Yeah. All right, shout out to the Predators.
Go,
man.
y'all. Go, y'all.
Go Nashville.
Beat everybody. Go out there and whoop some booty.
Yeah. Win the OVC championship.
I don't know if OVC got it. Hockey. They're going to have to go up the country.
They're going to have to do something, man. They might have to play Big East or something.
Yeah, up to Ohio or somewhere. So we appreciate you being with us here on R&R on Sports, brought to you by AARP. We thank them for being our sponsors. And
that's because you old. That's why AARP.
Man, let me tell you something. And I make no
AARP.
apologies about
that's
being
why
the age I
AARP
am
is
and
sponsoring
being
the show
a member of
because
AARP.
you old as hell. You
That's
probably
right.
got a gold
That's right.
card.
That's
You
right.
got a gold
That's
AARP
right.
card, don't you?
I'll get a platinum one if they'll knock off some more money at the hotel when you slap that boy down like it's the big joker.
Like it's the big joke.
Bam! What I get for this? How much I get off on this? Y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I am Harvard.
I am the great one, Larry Robinson.
Peace.
R&R is hosted by Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson. R&R is directed, produced, recorded, and distributed by Kadzukian.